What's the most that you've ever seen in one shot?
There's this one guy that I've seen when I used to live in Colorado. He would cover my entire face with one load, like white.
Damn, he's
oh.
He's like Spider-Man just shooting ropes.
It was so good.
Golly.
I just have from just thinking about it.
James, are you used to seeing that? Like, what? I mean, are you getting a lot of goose juice
Not
or
that
what?
much.
I mean, who is?
I kind of want to see it now.
There's this one guy specifically who was on top of me, and he's really given it to me, which was great. But he started sweating a lot and dripping sweat onto my face and into my mouth. And ever since that, if like it gets too sweaty, I'll be like, turn on the AC. Like, we can keep going, but I don't want your sweat like it's dripping on me. I just can't. I can't do it. Like, I can do 5 guys at once. Like, I can do that. That's a happy spot for me.
Oh, 5. So
it's fun watching your face, Matt, while you figure out the math.
Yeah, I'm like 5.
I call it. It's called airtight skiing.
Yeah,
airtight skiing.
Yep.
That's the greatest.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it makes sense because you're like skiing.
Oh, yeah, totally. And you are airtight.
Yeah, you sure are.
Hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Jdubs, Justin Richardson, and the amazing Jamie Iglesias. On the show today, we'll have the one and only Ray. Man, I'll tell you, this episode is so much fun. This is the quintessential, if it goes by fast, you know it was good, because this one flew by. She was so, like, great storytelling, so much information, like, really cool, really great stories. I really enjoyed it. Justin, what'd you think?
Something tells me it goes fast for a lot of people with Ray.
Get out.
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah, right. Don't say too much because it'll be copyrighted. But either way,
get it.
No, she was so much fun, so open and expressive, and like I really love to see like her passion and her, love for what she does. She is like a creative soul that loves her work and loves being creative and everything. It's so much fun having her on. She was such a great time. Jane, what did you think?
I thought she was awesome, and like she's so good. She does like it all. She directs, she finds movie sets, she does it all on her own. Yeah.
No, you're 100% right. When she's talking about producing and writing and like, just the different things she had to do to even get into the shoots that she's had and like
find the location and then like confirm that they're okay with what you're going to do with the location.
I mean, it's hard enough being like in that industry and having to take care of yourself and make all the content and everything, but then to like produce on top of that, it's a lot. That's a lot of work.
But she was super open and fun, and I think everyone's really going to enjoy this. So this is the Working Perspectives podcast interview with the one and only Ray. Enjoy.
It's all objective to be effective. My voice in societies. Working perspectives for today. And how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. So check out our rhyme and how we get live and do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Jdubs, Justin Richardson, and the amazing Jamie Iglesias. And our guest today is the one and only Ray. Ray is the gorgeous, all-natural sweetheart known as the Queen of the Gangbangs, and in some circles, the you've been waiting for. She's the rockstar, pornstar, allstar who creates her own content and works with amateur and independent studios like Blaze, TadpoleXXX, the Flourish, and Facial Abuse. Plus, she's showing that everyday women can do porn. You don't have to be perfect. You need to forge your own path. Before entering the adult entertainment industry, she was a medic and sergeant in the military, which helped her hone her exquisite physique. When Ray Ray isn't filming, you'll find her working out, looking for recreational, hanging out with her pets, and drawing or painting. Ray Ray has been featured twice in Night Moves magazine. She's received nominations for Rising Clip Stars from the XBiz Cam Awards, Clip Artist of the Year from the All-Star Awards, and Best Pro Female and Performer from the Urban X Awards, and Fetish Performer of the Year from the Cammy Awards. Super excited to have her on here, the one and only Ray Ray. Ray Ray, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
You know, any better, they'd have to lock us up. Super excited to have you here. Honestly, really, really love the like wrestling promo style names that you have.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Pornstar,
Yeah.
all-star. I like that. Say that 3 times.
Rockstar,
Yeah.
pornstar, all-star. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I like
super
that.
catchy. I like from the beginning of my career, I was like, what do I want to embody? And nobody's been embodying that in the porn industry. And I'm like, that's what we are. We are like porn stars, rock stars, and all stars, like 100%.
Amen.
That's
Amen. I love too the been waiting for. Absolutely fantastic. You
Yeah.
sound like, Bundini Brown when you're saying that. Very, very cool. So nice. How are you? How are things?
Things are great. Can't complain. So
Very cool. All right. So we have some get to know you questions so that your fans and our fans can get to know you a little better. First question is, what movie do you think is better? The Godfather Part 1 or The Godfather Part 2?
definitely the Godfather Part 1. Yeah, 100%.
And have you
Very nice,
seen
Ray
the
Ray.
third one?
I have not seen the third one.
Neither have I. Don't feel
What
it.
about-
I don't. Yeah, I think it's like sequels and like as you get into third ones, unless it's Shrek. Okay, then
Sure. Shrek the third. All-Star.
Yeah, it's normally not as good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're not wrong. Sequels sometimes be disappointing, but you're wrong in this case because Godfather Part 2 is better. But either way, do you have you're ex-military, do you have a military movie or TV series that you like the best?
I love G.I. Jane just because it shows a badass woman being able to, be
Great,
special
dude,
forces.
great flick.
Yeah.
Don't
Great flick.
don't joke about it.
The best scene is when she kicks Viggo Mortensen right into Gahuli and says, "Suck my d-."
I
That
know
was
it's so freaking good. I actually considered going up for selection, so it was like hit very close to home as well. So
Very cool. That's awesome. We actually one of our reoccurring hosts on the show is a guy named Sean Day, who's a former Navy SEAL for, I think he was SEAL Team 4, if I'm correct. But his brother is this Navy SEAL named Mike Day, who he just passed, but he was SEAL Team 6, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. No, do you so what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Army.
Army. Okay, awesome. My dad's a former Army Ranger. That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's hard too.
Nice.
That's selection just a little bit different than like the SEALs. So
Yeah. He used to shit all over SEAls all the time. It's a thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should on each other. Like usually, like
Yeah.
I have a friend who's in the Marines, and we shit on each other all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, he even in like my godfather is a ranger also, but my dad was a winter ranger and my godfather was a summer ranger. So he used to shit on him for, you know what I mean? It's always something,
Yeah.
even with like the guys in that thing.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Definitely.
So okay, let's keep it moving then. Next question: pancakes or waffles?
Waffles, but they have to be crisp. Like I don't want some
Yeah.
flimsy waffle. They have to be like cooked the right way, or it's just sad. I'm like, why are you
Yeah.
giving me this? Like,
No. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. No one likes a flaccid waffle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You
Like,
gotta
come
have
on.
it crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
yes.
Amen, baby.
100%.
Amen.
Except for
Goddamn.
our pancakes, where I was stationed was at Fort Carson in Colorado Springs, and there is a restaurant there which is actually military themed, and they make these Claymore pancakes, which are like full of like sausage and bacon pieces and like all of this like delicious stuff. And they're huge. They're probably like I could eat half of one and be like, oh my gosh. Those are really good pancakes. But
Oh, I love that. I love when they do like they throw like because it's a salty sweet that you get in there. Like, do you ever
Mhm.
do the gimmick where they'll put like bacon in between French toast? You know what I mean? Like one of
Yes.
those, like it's so good.
It's
Oh,
so
that's
good.
why chicken and waffles is so good. You know what I mean? You got the salty
Yeah.
and the sweet. Nice. Awesome. Really cool. Okay. Next question. When it comes to Cheetos, are you crunchy or are you puffed?
Crunchy, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have to get like the powder all over your fingers and like
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this is come on.
you
What
have
do
no
we,
choice.
come on.
and
This
eat
is
the whole
America.
bag. Normally I try not to buy that sort of thing just because you have to look sexy on film. But
Right.
if I do, I usually eat the whole bag.
Yeah.
So.
One thing me and Justin know about is looking sexy on TV. You know what I'm saying? Or on camera. Yeah, obviously.
And
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
Hello.
you eat so many until you're uncomfortable. And you're like, all right,
Yes.
I gotta put these away.
Yeah, you eat the whole
Yeah.
bag and you're like, oh no.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Picking it out of
Yeah,
your
you
teeth.
really have to check your self-control. You're like, God, it's just a Cheeto. It's like this chemical crunch, but
The
it's
same with
delicious.
the white cheddar popcorn. Like I find myself
Oh.
just like
Yeah.
I'm like, stop.
Handfuls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that too with salt and vinegar chips. I love salt and vinegar chips.
Mhm.
All right, nice. Keep moving then. Okay, Bill Murray or Chevy Chase?
Chevy Chase. I just love him. He's just so funny. I have heard that he's not very great, like off like
They
film.
both have their
Mhm.
flaws.
Yeah, apparently he's an asshole.
But
Apparently they're both
Vacation,
assholes.
I just it's a classic.
I think we're at
It
like
is.
3 now.
Yeah. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a
Way to
few.
step up.
Honestly,
yeah.
I think you're the second adult actress that we've had that's a Chevy Chase. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So shout out to you, Ray Ray.
Oh,
Good
thank
for you.
you.
Good for standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Okay. Next question. When it comes to a theme park, are you amusement park or are you water park?
I'm a water park. Like I like both and I would do both, but amusement parks, I feel like I'm old. Like I'll go on a roller coaster and my head hurts afterwards. And my brain feels like it's been like moved around in a way that it's not natural. Like there's another theme park near where I live, Kings Island, and I actually met Blaze, the guy who runs Blaze Studios there, and he's older, like he's in his 50s, and he's like, we're gonna go on all the roller coasters. And I was like, okay. And we went on this one like Flight of Fear. It's like inside with strobe lights, and we're like moving around. And afterwards, I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm too old. But water parks, I would do water parks all freaking day. Like I love all the rides and stuff. So
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did a water park last summer, and it was fun, but I don't know. I was still soaking wet afterwards and all this stuff, but it was cool.
Have you done the one where you stand on the platform and it drops and you just go down the slide? When
the
you gotta
point of
stand
no
there?
return, yeah. And you have the
so
wedgie when you get up. You have the huge
Yeah.
wedgie. I'm like, oh, I guess people like my butt, so it's fine. But
When you stand there for those 3 seconds waiting for him to hit the button, you're like, all right, come on.
yeah.
Come on.
I don't like the ones that are in closed tubes. Like I have some claustrophobia, so
Same.
I don't like when it's all dark. So I just like scream the whole way down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did, honestly, same thing when I was at the water park this summer. There was like one that was you would go through like a tunnel, and I'm like, dude, why am I petrified of this? It was only 6 seconds we were in this tunnel, but I am terrified right now.
There's this one water park near where I live, Kalahari, and they have a ride that's like a toilet bowl. So you like swirl around and then you drop into like this deep water. So it's like you've been flushed. It's actually pretty fun. Like,
That's funny. Nice. All right, let's keep moving then. Are you a gamer?
I am a gamer.
Okay. Are you PlayStation or are you Xbox?
Xbox.
Damn right you're on Xbox.
Heck yeah.
Back on the team.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite game?
I really like RPGs, especially couch co-op. I like to play with someone.
Cool.
And I'm working through Divinity Original Sin, the second one, right now.
Cool.
So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've like I'll tell you, I mean, I still have the Xbox One. I do have to upgrade my system, which I'm planning on doing somewhat soon. But honestly, I've like there's so many times that I've got the new Assassin's Creed or the Star Wars game or whatever, right? The new hot Halo, whatever the new hot stuff hitting the streets, whatever it is. And there's so many times I've gotten it, and I go back to Red Dead Redemption 2. I am like so sucked into that game
Yeah.
that I don't know what my life would be without it. Really.
Yeah.
You know?
In my house, I actually have an entire gaming room. I like to decorate, so I like to interior decorate, and I have an entire room that is game themed. There is a rug with every game character. There are neon signs of different characters. There's an entire shelf that each shelf has different stuff for like Zelda, Mario, like all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I love gaming.
Are you gonna?
Dude, that's
Yeah.
great.
Have you played
Yeah.
Starfield?
I have not.
All right, that's Xbox only. That's a new one that looks pretty exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, was that the one? It's like the space
It's
one.
like Red Dead Redemption in space is kind of how it's been pitched. It's very role playing. Like you need to gather supplies to go to certain planets, and there's
See, I like that.
to explore.
That reminds me of like No Man's Sky.
Dude,
it's like that.
I was playing No Man's Sky. How great was that?
Yeah, it's very immersive. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
They're
So,
saying the new Star Wars is going to be built like No Man's Sky. Like you're going to be on the Millennium Falcon or the X-Wing, and that's how like you're going to zip around. Jamie's super interested.
Yeah, I can't wait for
I don't game.
Baldur's Gate 3 to come out on Xbox, because I played Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 on PlayStation back in the day, and I hope that they will put it on Xbox, because I really liked like the RPGs and the way that they were on PlayStation back in the day, those ones. So
Oh, fun. Yeah. I mean, hopefully they will.
My buddy's
right?
playing
You know?
Baldur's Gate. He said he loves it, and he plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he's like, it's cool.
yeah, it's a
Oh, nice.
It's it's kind of it's a Dungeons and Dragons book converted into a video game, as far as I know.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Not too much reading though, right? I hate the game.
Yeah, I don't like too much reading.
I always thought Dungeons and Dragons was a card game.
It's like a tabletop game.
Yeah.
Kind of. You
It's
have
more
dice.
dice.
Yeah, it's like Warhammer or any of those other tabletop games.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we found this out from former guest of the show, friend of the show, fan of the show, Liv Revamped. She told us that guys, nerds playing D&D, watch out because some of them sneakily got a whammer on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've met
you
a
would-
few. Yeah, they
That's
do.
what-
Surprisingly, like I was doing one event once, and this guy, like a lot of guys don't like to show their face, so like he showed up in a Batman mask. And he like had a huge stick, and he came more than anyone who was there. But he was definitely very nerdy, very shy, very like so.
And just had a big old whammer
And
on
a
him.
huge
God bless
cum
him.
shot, like oh my god.
Yeah, he like painted you.
Oh
you know
yes,
what I mean?
it was great.
Yeah. Jamie, don't get too excited. Golly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it moving. This will probably be the most important question you'll ever be asked.
Okay.
When it comes to eating wings, are you
Yes.
drums or are you flats?
I am drums.
Bum, bum, bum.
I mean, I like both though. Like you can't really have one or the other.
Sure,
Like if you
sure.
have like the option, like why would anyone
Yeah.
take the option? Why wouldn't you have both?
Right. I
But-
mean, I'm not gonna kick a flat out of bed for eating crackers,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, you know,
I mean, there's
if I
more meat on the drums though.
it's so true.
Like
Easier to dip. It's a one
yes,
hand.
Yeah, and especially if you don't like being messy. But like, I like wings. I like ribs. Like I grew up eating a whole bunch of ribs, and I get the
Oh,
sauce
yeah.
all over my face.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
don't really care who looks at me weird. I don't think if I went on a first date, I'd be like, "Let's go eat wings."
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
not
But
yeah.
first
you
date.
know,
Just sitting in front of
Yeah.
a pile of bones.
Oh man, I made that mistake a couple of times.
You
There's
were
this like really
wings.
there's this really great Mexican spot that I used to live near. It's called the Adobe Cafe in Manioc.
I used
Right.
to live right by it.
Yeah, great
I live
spot.
over
And
there.
like they had legit the best wings. They're called Texas Ranchero wings, and they were phenomenal. And like, I mean, I took my wife there on our first date. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I
Just made her
take
watch you
another.
I mean-
12 wings.
Like legit, I polished these off. I was like, "You're
Yeah.
not gonna have any." Like,
I mean, if you know, you know, and like I guess like if they see the sauce all over your face and they still like you, then I guess that's a good sign. So
Yep. I mean,
Yeah, it works for
know.
you, Matt.
yeah,
I mean, with this canvas, it's not hard to paint.
It's
a
definitely putting the
masterpiece, guys,
gauntlet down.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Watch me
Yeah.
work. Look
Yeah.
Yeah, I do distinctly remember her not eating anything. And now it's like, great.
Yeah,
She
but
got a
walks
crab
I mean,
quesadilla and took it home.
as like women, we have to look all like prim and proper. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with like even sexual partners. Like I remember dating, and I've always been very sexually open, and I would like say less partners than I actually had because I didn't think guys would be okay with that,
Yeah.
let alone like
Yeah.
getting sauce all over your face. Like
It's an insecurity thing
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, for sure. Also it's like some kind of old world rhetoric of like, oh, your wife needs to be a virgin before you marry her and blah blah blah. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which that shit's
yeah,
out the
I mean, then she has no
window.
experience, and it would probably be terrible. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, but who can get, how much experience you need for like 3 pumps? You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, come on, let's be honest.
yeah.
My old man always said 3 pumps is 2 pumps too many.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well,
Right, guys?
that's
Yeah.
just sad for the woman, though. She'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, it's we have marital problems. I'm
They're
kidding.
like, "I
We're
guess I'll grab my dildo, go away."
That's why he has so many kids.
Yeah, we're happily married, guys.
That's good.
So she says. But
well,
you
that's
never
good.
know.
Then you are, because that matters. So
Thanks.
yeah.
All right. Look at us. Okay, let's keep it moving then. So that was our get to know you questions. You answered them fairly well. But I want to talk about you. You have some really, really cool stuff. So listen to this. So you recently released the porn version of The Breakfast Club, which I fucking love it. And it was with an all-female cast. Is that correct, Ray Ray?
It was, yes. So
Fantastic. So can you tell us about that? And then you also are actively working on 2 new series that you want to release. So after you tell us about The Breakfast Club, we'd want to hear about the 2 new series. So go ahead.
awesome. So I always attend Chicago Exotica, and while I was there a few years ago, there is a place there where you can rent sets. I actually did a scene in a subway rail car called Railed, which was really fun.
I love it.
The same company had this retro old classroom set, and I was like, I want to use this because it's really hard to find sets that are open to adult film, because whenever I do a scene, I always clear that I'm going to be filming adult in it, just in case they come back. I don't want to like them to shut us down or whatever, So this retro classroom set was perfect. And I was like, I know I want to use this. And then I had watched The Breakfast Club, a few times throughout the year, just because it's iconic. It's a good film. And I was like, you know what? No one's ever redone it that I know, porn style. And I'm like, this needs done.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about, how do I want to recreate this? How can I do this scene, like this movie justice, in a way that will be fun, comical, but also have the underlying theme of the movie overall?
Yeah.
So I had to rewrite the script because they're in high school. They're not doing anything sexual. They're not doing anything dirty. And so I rewatched the movie, and I have to give him credit where credit is due. I actually don't write the scripts. My husband, who is my helper in all things that I do, actually writes all my scripts. And so the genius of the script, when you actually watch this film, is all of him. He watched the movie and he's like, okay, let me recreate this. And so what we do is we have all the characters, and it's like we're in detention, like, the movie. But instead of kind of doing the long thing that they had, what we did was like a round table thing where we're doing like 2 truths and 1 lie kind of game, but it's all sexy stuff. So at one point I say, I totally fucked my therapist. And then like someone else will come back and say something else. And it's very funny, very witty, like super comical. And at the end of all of that, I say, I never wanted to fuck one of you guys right now. And then one of the girls is like, isn't one of those supposed to be a lie? And then it transitions to us going back to detention, where we're waiting for him, like Vernon, the principal, to come back. And so while we're waiting for the principal to come back, we decide to fuck each other in the room.
Sounds like a blast.
So
I mean, if detention was really like that, oh, it'd be great.
Yeah, so it was really fun to be able to, find the way to make the scene comical, fun, but dirty in the way it needed to be. And so the hardest part with this scene was for one, it's 6 performers. So trying to organize a scene with 6 performers, for one, that's not paid. So this is a collaboration. So you don't have the incentive of you're being paid to show up, like all of these incentives that would be needed for like a huge, production.
But it's like, this is a great idea that you're thinking too. It's more like you're doing this for the notoriety, and like it's going to be a fun project also, right? Like that's part of the appeal as well, right?
Yes, it definitely is.
Okay.
And
sorry, I
so
interrupted.
no,
Keep
it's
going.
okay. So I was like, I want 6 performers, and at first I didn't know if I wanted a mixture of men or women. But I was like, we should gender bend some of the roles. Like, I think that would be a really cool thing to actually bring this scene like 100% full circle. So I didn't know what character I wanted to be. I knew which characters I embodied, but I let other people pick who they wanted to be. And so I have a lot of amazing friends in the industry. And so I started talking to Taylor Gunner, who is like the dirtiest Marine, which is my Marine friend who I was talking about earlier. And I was like, what character do you want to be? Because she always attends Chicago Exotica. And she's like, I want to be Bender. I think I would be a perfect Bender. I'd be amazing
Everybody
burnout.
wants to be Bender.
But she did such a good job. Like when I finished talking about everyone in the cast, like it was just cast so perfectly. So I had Bender, and then I reached out to one of my other good friends, Honey Bunny, and I was like, who do you want to be? She's like, I'll be the prep. And I was like, that's perfect. Like if you ever meet Honey, you'll know that she was built to be the prep. And then I also worked with one of my other good friends, Rebel Ryder, who, if you don't know who Rebel Ryder is, you should go look her up now because she's amazing. And what she does with her asshole is just unbelievable.
Wow.
I say the same thing about Matt all the time.
But yeah, I mean, she's like the anal queen for a reason.
Right. They call me the gape god, just so you know.
But I asked her who she wanted to be, and she's like, I'll be the nerd. So when you actually watch the scene, the funniest thing about her being the nerd is she says like the most off the wall things. Like she'll be like, I've never even seen a pussy before. Like, and she's the dirtiest of all of us. So it was so funny, her being like the one who had no experience.
Oh, I love it.
And then the last 2 characters were Cameron Brooks and Natalie Brooks. And I had never worked with them before, but I had heard really good things about them. And Cameron Brooks is, she does a lot of strap-on stuff. She's a lot more masculine of a performer. And so I was like, she has to be the jock. Like, she was just perfect as the jock. And then her wife, Natalie Brooks, was the principal, like the authoritative figure that we needed in the scene. And so it kind of brings all of them together. And we were all cosplayed, all in character, just the way it needed to be. And then I have an amazing editor who just edited the scene just the way it needed to be. Like, it is one of the scenes that I am so proud of. And before the scene, we had actually gotten a cinema lens. So we invested in an actual lens that makes your film look cinematic in the way that it does in film. And so it actually brought that old movie look to the film the way it needed to be, like how it was filmed back in the day. So if you haven't seen The Breakfast Club, there are promos for it on my Twitter. It's amazing. I'm extremely proud of it. And I'm glad that all of those performers could help me recreate it. So.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. I love that. That's great. And it's a great idea. And it, like, honestly, plus two, like, I think it's hilarious. It is hysterical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that you're creative in this space.
I mean, at one point, Bender says, I've never finger blasted myself behind a Taco Bell dumpster before. Like, there's just all this funny stuff that we say back and forth. Like, it's funny, it's comical, it's dirty. It's just the way that the scene, you know, if it was adult, needed to be. So.
Yes, and it's available at your website, rayrayvideo.com. Shoot, I'm getting rayrayxxx.com. It'll be available there. Do you have a link tree? Because they don't let us put XXX sites in the description of episodes.
I do.
Perfect. So we'll have a link tree, and in the link tree, we'll have your rayrayxxx.com, which will have this video available. Highly suggest everyone check it out. Even if, you know, maybe you don't want to flick your bean to it or whatever, you might just want to have a good laugh. Check it out because it's really, really fun and really, really cool.
I will put at the end that I put bloopers at the end of all my scenes because I think that is funny and comical.
That's awesome.
And so
that's great.
At the end of this scene, there are some really good bloopers as well. So
oh, that's phenomenal. Love it. Nice.
That's
okay,
great.
cool.
Yeah.
I love it. That's such honestly too like I think one of the best things about like going into like I want to say like content creation, you know what I mean, as douchey as that sounds, but is like the flexing of your creative muscles, you know what I mean? So the fact that you're not only have a passion for what you're doing in your performance, but you're able to get creative in a very fun way, it has to be so gratifying for when you're putting in this type of work.
It is extremely gratifying, but it's extremely hard, especially being an indie production. So like I do everything. I do finding the sets, getting the wardrobe, getting the performers, figuring out what makeup are we doing. I even pick the sex positions. Like I know everything that we're going to be doing for the scene, but it's me or like my husband or maybe a few of the other performers doing it all. It's not like a big company, which are great, but they have tons of people on staff doing that. I am trying to create porn that is on level with them, but it's just me, which is extremely hard to do, but very rewarding when I can produce a scene like The Breakfast Club. So
that's a lot of work.
It's a lot. Yes. I don't sleep. No, I'm just joking.
When you're coming at it from a production point of view, right? Like one of the things I've had to learn the hard way with this, this venture, for me at least, was, you kind of get like a hubris at times where it's like you kind of want what you want, right? And like you have a vision, you want to stick to the vision, and you kind of in a way have to stick to the general idea of the vision. But the one thing I learned that someone told me that was like a great quote that I really think of a lot is don't be mad where good ideas come from. Right.
I love it.
Like you might not like the person, you might not like how they delivered the idea or told you about it, but good ideas come from wherever, and you need to take hold of them when they do. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, I think the hardest part with creating your own content is there's a lot of roadblocks, especially with porn and adult stuff. Like there's a lot of discrimination across the board, just trying to even find sets. Like I can go to LA and let's say I have like 5 performers hired for scenes and I know what I want to do, but I have to find the sets. I can reach out to like 30 different sets and maybe 4 will say yes to adult film. And I'm like in LA of all places, like there are actually laws and regulations there that actually make it harder for people to film in LA County. Like they pass certain laws and stuff. So there are all these things like roadblocks, discrimination that make it 100 times harder to be an indie producer, to be creating what you want to create. And I'm also not a performer that does what sells. I do what creatively excites me. So like if I want to invest in something, like I'm going to be redoing Inside Out at New Jersey Exotica. So
I love that.
I'm going to be decorating an entire room and I have all the performers cosplayed and whatever. And we wrote the script and everything. And so I want to do things that excite me, things that are hard, things that are challenging, but there's sometimes that it's like I'm banging my head against the wall because I am hitting all this discrimination in so many places. And I'm like, can one person just like, let me use this boxing ring, please? Like, I want to film in a boxing ring. Can at least like 12 of the 12 places that I reached out to in LA, can one say yes, please? Like,
that is tough. I mean, honestly, like I teach boxing at an academy, and like the owner is like, I remember I was filming an interview there with a different guest, and the guest he was like, he was a former New Jersey kingpin turned into a real estate mogul, so it was like a really good story, and he was a really good guest. But the owner contacted me. He's like, hey Matt, I have families and kids that are here, just making sure like that's not, I know you've had adult actresses on the show and it's not, and I was like, it's not, but like, in a way it's like, I get it, it's his business and he does have kids and family. On the other hand, it's also like, man, it does suck that there is that stigma. Like there's that, that stamp of disapproval almost.
It's crazy because like he probably watches porn. So I mean,
he's a married man. I don't want to say that, but
I mean, hopefully, they watch porn together.
Right.
But yeah, there is all that discrimination. It's extremely hard. And like, you can't let people decide what they want to do with their space ultimately. But I'm a performer who's going to leave your space better than I found it. There's a lot of misnomers out there thinking that if you have sex in a space or you're doing this, that you're going to wreck it, you're going to hurt it, you're going to do all these things. And I'm like, I'm going to clean your space afterwards. Like, it's going to be nice.
Yeah,
like,
if you Airbnb'd it, who knows what those people do to it versus what you guys are going to be more than respectful, more than clean.
Yeah.
So
but that also adds to your reputation as well. Like if you go to places and you leave them like, you know, a cum dumpster, people are gonna be like, yeah, this freaking jerk here. Like you're not gonna, no one's gonna let you use their space.
100%.
You'll get that reputation. But if you go in and it's like she was never there, then it's like, all right, you know, no harm, no foul. But yeah, totally. No, really, really cool. So super excited. Like we said, we'll have the link tree in the description of this episode. In the link tree, there'll be a link for RayRayXXX.com. Check it out there. You can see the Breakfast Club. And I believe there's a Breakfast Club trailer there as well, right?
There is.
So you can check that out also. Then now I want to discuss this. You also said that you're in the process now of you're working on 2 new series, 10 episode series, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I know you don't want to give away too much, but can you kind of give us a gist of what you're going for with these?
So it kind of plays into the boxing ring thing anyway, because I was going to do a scene in a boxing ring for one of them. But so I was thinking about like, what do I want to have a lasting effect as my career? And there isn't a lot of porn that is female forward for women. And so these series are more from the female perspective. They're about female empowerment. They're about women's sexuality. And so the first one is about women who steal women from men. So basically, it's all narrative. All these scenes are scripted. They have narrative hooks to them. They have unique sets. And I hire like really well-known performers for each scene. So basically, the premise of this series is the woman's married or she has a boyfriend or whatever, and there is some interaction between her and her boyfriend, but then I show up. So like I did a scene with Katie Morgan. She's the first one in the series of this.
Shout out.
So she's going to be the first one that's released for the 10 episodes of this women who are stealing women from men. But basically, she's a judge, and her husband are having problems because their house is a mess. So there are dirty dishes, there's trash, like they're fighting about it. And so he's like, I hired a maid, it'll be fine. So I'm the maid, and I show up in my cute little maid outfit. And she catches me smelling her underwear in like while I'm trying to fold the laundry, and she's like, what are you doing? And then we like fuck.
Classic.
So it's supposed to be more about women, what they want, their sexual fantasies, empowering them. And so that entire series is about women who steal women from men. And so I've done 3 episodes already in that series.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And you said Katie Morgan was in one of them? You got a legend right off the bat.
I was very lucky.
What's that? What's that, Justin?
She used to have a show on HBO, right? Katie Morgan, a little blonde.
Yeah. Dude, she was in Zach and Miri Make a Porno. That was a great movie.
She's awesome. She's been around for 20 years. She's a legend. Yeah. I was really glad that she said yes to filming with me.
Still a looker too, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. So
shout out.
And then the other series is about a female player. So she like is a woman who is sexually prowess. She embraces her sexuality fully, and so she just picks up men however she wants. Kind of like How I Met Your Mother. How he's always picking up women. Barney is always picking up women. So he's like, challenge accepted. Like, so basically it's kind of like embodies my personality, like who I am as myself, because I have picked up people from bars and all kind of situations. But basically it's about a woman being like, I like sex, I like this person, but I'm gonna fuck them however I want, or pick them up and then maybe never call them again, or maybe I escape out of the fire escape, or in this series I use different names, so I never use the same name, and then I never use my performer name, so I'm always like, hi, I'm Chloe, and I like, wink at the camera. And so it's about the female's perspective of owning her sexuality, being sexy, being a slut, and just embracing that. So
that is phenomenal. I love that. You know what it is though? It is when you're talking about being a player, you know what I mean? Like if you're a guy and like you're saying, like Barney, if you're getting all these chicks and macking down, you're a player, you're a stud,
Yep.
you're, like a kill, like all these things. And if you're a girl, right? Like, like if you're known as like, if you're a guy doing this, you're known as a player, you're known as a stud, you're known as like a macho man and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're a girl that just goes out there and sleeps with tons of guys and picking up guys, honestly, you're just known as Justin's mom.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah, and it's not okay. And I think that definitely needs to change. Like that is one of the main reasons I do what I do, is to show other women that you can be as slutty as you want. And here's how to do it safely. Like there's safe ways of doing it and unsafe ways. Like do it safely. But have sex with as many people as you want. It's okay. Embrace it. Like be who you want to be, and like don't let people tell you you can't be that. So
my I remember my little brother's gay. We've talked about it on the show before. Queer in a $3 bill. And I remember I had talked to him. I was like, because I had been bartending for a while and things like that. And I'd ask him, like, dude, why don't you ever get a job at a gay bar? You know what I mean? Like you would clean up, you'd make tons of money. And he said this to me. He was like, Matt, have you ever been at a bar, right? And you see a girl there and you just think like, God, I just want to like bang her silly. You know what I mean? And he's like, at a gay bar, that just, I mean, you don't have to think about it when you can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the first episode of this series actually comes in with a voiceover that I do. And it talks about that. It talks about how like, you're probably just fantasizing about that hot guy across the room and you're never going to do anything. And that's the difference between me and you, is I'm going to go up to them and I'm going to fuck that guy, or I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to do what you're fantasizing about. So you're going to go home and flick your bean to it and I'm just going to like suck his dick, like, and so that's how the series is going to start. Like the first episode that I did with Ryan McLean, who's amazing. He's a very good performer. He's been around for 16 years, or I think 16 years or so.
Man, you're getting some of the vets, huh?
I am. I like working with agencies. It's nice that I can reach out to different ones and they allow me to hire the talent. It's very nice. But yeah, for the first episode is a bar scene. And so basically I come in the bar and I pick him up from the bar. So the scene ends with me being like, finish your drink and let's go. Like, and so that's then the second episode that I did with Quentin James, who's actually going to be getting out of the industry soon, I think.
Oh wow.
He's done a lot. He's a really good performer too. It's in a gym. So basically what happens with this is I pretend to work at the gym and then I don't actually work there. And so he comes in after, and
one of the Barney gimmicks where you're I'm going to pretend to be this to get this chick, but it's with you getting a guy.
So
I really like
it's all reversed. It's all female forward, female empowering, that the woman is in charge. She is the one controlling stuff. Like I want to do an episode where I forget the guy's name and I'm like, you're Steve, right? And he's like, no, I'm Jack. And I'll be like, oh, sorry. Like, or like I'm trying to escape. So like, or like in the like I'll be going out the fire escape. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to go. Like, thanks for the dick. Like, or like, so funny. Do the one where he's trying to make me breakfast and I'm like, I don't want your eggs. Like, so. But
nice. All right. That sounds really good. And so you already have some episodes filmed for all that and some scenes filmed for all that stuff. Super excited. So everyone will have a link to Ray Ray's Linktree in the description of this. That will take you to her site, RayRayXXX.com, and then, or RayRayXXX.com, I should say, because it's not, you don't type in the word triple. It's RayRayXXX.com, and you can go there and you can see all these videos and keep an eye out there for when these new series be released there. But I want to keep it moving. I want to go to everyone's new favorite segment. It's God damn it, Jamie. Every week I forget.
You gotta practice.
I know. Okay. All right. So it's now time for everyone's new favorite segment. The best part of this segment is a plastic dick in your butt. This is Peg Talk with Jamie Iglesias. Ray, Jamie here. She's going to ask you some amazing questions. You're going to have a great time. Go ahead, Jamie. Take it away.
All right. First question. What are you best at in bed?
Sucking dick.
Nice.
Oh, really?
I could deep throat 9 inches.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've always told that's 6 inches too many, but all right.
I mean, it depends on you of what you like.
Do you have a
Oh,
do you have a big
shoot,
gag reflex?
I don't really, no.
Apparently not.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, if you're taking 9 inches, God bless you. But hold on, real quick, Ray, I forgot to ask this. So we're gonna ask you this now,
Okay.
and then later on you're gonna answer. So Justin and I, we are two heterosexual male gentlemen, and one of us has a schmeckle that is got a turtleneck, and one of us has a schmeckle that doesn't have a turtleneck. And you don't have to answer now, but by the end of the show, we're gonna ask you who do you think has what, and you're gonna give us the answer. Cool?
Cool.
By turtleneck, I mean circumcised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-circumcised.
Yeah, circumcised, uncircumcised.
Yeah.
One is
Got it.
and one is not.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Dun,
So
dun,
very good. Jamie, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted, and it was foolish of me to ever interrupt you. Please continue.
That is okay. Okay, where is the craziest place you've ever had sex?
In the snow.
Ah,
Whoa.
Bare like
Sounds
butt in the
cold.
snow.
Fucking that
Yeah.
guy. He my poor.
That's
I mean, there's a
bastard.
warm spot, like, you know.
Sure. Right. Yep.
So
I mean, he probably needed it.
yeah, he did. I was the one in the snow though. I was like, you're complaining.
Yeah, whoever's on the bottom in the snow is
Yeah.
yeah, it was like full body in the
I
snow.
mean, yeah.
Was it worth it?
Oh yeah, it was fun. I was young
Yeah.
though. I was 18, so I was just experimenting. I've
Yeah.
also done a scene where I was filming outside and we started getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, but we have to pretend because it's
Oh.
a scene that's the best thing that's ever happening. And the guys are
Yeah.
complaining, and I'm like, your dicks are the only thing that are out. Like my entire body is exposed. I don't want to hear it that you're complaining. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
That's rough.
yeah, but
I mean, to be fair though, no one wants to get a mosquito bite on their schmeckle.
But I mean, now I
yeah,
have
you're
bug
everything,
spray
you
in my kit, so I guess you learn stuff along the way.
Learned your lesson.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Next time you get to use bug spray as lube, have fun.
Oh
Yep,
no,
all right.
that sounds like the worst yeast infection ever.
And that sounds like it would burn or something.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Nice. All right, James, keep going.
What's your biggest turn on?
Cum. I'm a big cum slut, so like my motivator, like even doing a gangbang, if I get cum, I can go all night. But then if I don't get a lot of cum, I'll start asking for it. So
Wow.
yeah.
So that one D&D guy we talked about was like, you're just in heaven with that guy, huh?
Oh yeah. If you come a lot, like I'll remember you and I'll be like, yeah, I want to fuck you again. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get invited back.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What's the most
mean-
cum that you've ever seen in one shot?
There's this one guy that I've seen when I used to live in Colorado. He would cover my entire face with one load, like white.
God damn,
Holy
he's
big
like,
shit.
like just like
Altitude up
he's like Spider-Man
It
just
was-
shooting ropes.
it was so good.
Golly.
I just had an orgasm from just thinking about it. Like God,
That's crazy.
Man,
That's a lot of
God
cum.
bless you that you found
Yeah.
what you like.
I did.
Is that
Jim, are you used to seeing that? Like, what? I mean, are you getting a lot of goose juice or
Not that
what?
much.
Can
Damn.
you produce that?
I mean,
Yeah.
who is?
I kind of
Who's-
want to see it now.
Yeah, yeah, it
Did
was
you
really
produce-
good.
Could you produce it daily, or is he taking like
Oh yeah,
3
he
week
could do.
breaks?
He could do one huge load, and then within an hour, he could do another normal size guy's load.
What is this guy? Part camel?
And he
What
had a
is
big
going
dick
on?
too, like big dick. Like, oh, this is perfect.
God, he was just made to bang, huh?
Oh yeah.
Man. Good for him. Good for him. Hey, shout out that guy, fan of the show, listener of the
Yeah.
show. All right, James, keep going.
All right, what's your biggest turn off?
I don't like sweat. Like when I was younger, I was 18, 19, exploring my sexuality, having sex with multiple people. There's this one guy specifically who was on top of me, and he's really given it to me, which was great. But he started sweating a lot and dripping sweat onto my face and into my mouth. And ever since that, if like it gets too sweaty, I'll be like, turn on the AC. Like we can keep going, but I don't want your sweat like it's dripping on me.
Oh,
I just can't.
no.
I can't do it. Like
I've legit been that guy for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to understand I'm putting in the effort, right? Like you have to appreciate that, right?
It makes sense with the
I'd be
snow.
like, let me get on top. Like,
Yeah,
You don't have to
you're
worry about
like,
that.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
yeah,
that. in
it'd
the
be
snow
like,
scene.
okay, it'd be like I'm on top and I'm like really giving it to you, but then I start dripping sweat all over you, and you're
Guys
probably
would think that was
Honestly,
gross.
they'd probably
no,
be like,
yeah.
what the heck? This isn't getting on my
Honestly,
face and
you
my
could be
mouth, and
like, you could be pouring cat piss on me. I could be like, all right, let's just get this over with and we'll deal with that. But this is still great. Yeah. Not a lot that could really stop that train once it's going.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair, I mean, how much are you
fact.
sweating in 14 seconds? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you come a lot, then that works for me because I just want to come anyway. So.
Right, sure. You're all in for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like,
It's a
yay,
race to the
you're
finish
quick. I'm
line
like,
for you.
oh, you come fast. Okay.
As long
Yeah,
as it's a
I mean,
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish all women were like you, Ray Ray.
Yeah. I'm like, I can get myself off. Just like, give me the cum and then I'll come.
Right. Hey, there you go. So you need your special sauce.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Slut snack. That's what I call it.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, James. Keep it moving.
Do
What do you
you
got?
watch porn for pleasure?
I sure do.
What's your
Ooh.
favorite
You're-
kind?
I love gangbangs. I love bukkakis. I would love to die just being covered in cum. Like that would just be amazing. Like, and I also want to
Wow.
be like that old lady at the nursing home who's like, it's gangbang night. All of you guys, like, we're gonna go in my room and we're all gonna don't break my hip.
Like, hey,
but,
start a
like,
Hey
Congo
guys,
line
that's
after dinner.
after bingo.
Yeah,
Come on to my room.
Bum, bum,
yeah,
bum.
I mean, I want it to be like in my will, like that. I just get gangbanged to death, and then like don't bring me back. Like just let me go.
Do not resuscitate.
Yeah.
It's
Where did
So-
you
You,
discover your love for
you
gangbang?
die at number 21,
Um,
and then somewhere between
so-
like number 28,
Yeah.
you get revived.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, come.
She's back.
Yes, he gave me the cum.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, she's back. Oh my gosh. Thought she was a goner. But
Her special sauce
yeah.
got her back.
so I'll
Slut sauce? Is that what you call it? Slut
yeah,
snack.
slut snack. Yeah.
Love it.
Has a lot of protein and it got to keep you going, you know. So,
Hey, there you go.
yeah, and carbs. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Um, but so
That's
I'll just
something
talk about my first gangbang that I did. So I've always been very sexually open, exploring my sexuality, doing threesomes, adding more people. And before I did my first gangbang, I had only done threesomes like with two guys or with like another woman and a guy. And at the time, I had met this couple who was connected with networks and organizers in Colorado. And she was like, I'm doing a 12 black guy gangbang. Do you want to come watch and just like see if it's something that you would enjoy doing? And so I was like, yeah, sure. I had always been intrigued about gangbangs, about multiple guys, but I had never thought it was a possibility that I could actually do one or like set it up, which is normally for women, a lot of women fantasize about gangbangs. They just don't know how to ultimately do them.
Really?
And so I was like, yeah, I'll come watch. And then so right before the event is about to start, there are two queen beds in the room. And she's like, do you want to just join? And I was like, I thought about it for a second, and then there really wasn't any hesitation or like reservation on my part. I just got on the other bed and we fucked the 12 black guys and it was great. And the beast was born since then. Like I love them. It's really hard to set up successful recreational gangbangs, especially since I do very large numbered gangbangs. I don't
What's a large number?
So the largest I've done is 41.
So like, is this everybody having sex at the same time or like taking
Or is
turns?
it like rotating like a train kind of?
Especially as adults, it's hard to get
it's
everyone
shirts
together.
versus skins. No.
Also, it's like, do you get those catered? Or like, what's
Yeah.
the deal?
So what we normally would do is you have to get with established networks, organizers who have like the pull to be able to get that amount of guys. Because
Okay.
and the hardest part for me is I've been trying to do 50 guys and like 100 guys for a really long time.
Mm.
So if anyone who's listening knows networks who can get me those guys, like please reach out to me because I've been trying to do it for a long
Please
time.
do.
Was it it's the
Um,
space that you need or the people that you need?
I need the
I guess
right
both.
guys. So like normally there's a lot of flake rate when it comes to gangbangs on
A lot
both
of
sides.
people will sign up, but they don't show up.
Mhm. So like I did one in Portland, it was a few years ago. I had 85 RSVPs. I got 15 guys.
Yeah, so they get all
Why-
excited. And
Why do you
Yeah.
think they don't show up?
So it's
A lot of guys will
it's-
jerk off and then be
yeah.
like, I don't feel
It's
like
the
it.
same as any sexual fantasy, things that you're thinking about. So like in the moment, like when you're horny, you're like, yes, I would do that. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to fuck this girl with 20 other guys in the room, whatever.
yeah,
But then you come back to reality where you're no longer horny and you're like, no, I don't want to do do that. I don't think so. And so they'll pretend that they want to, or they kind of like the idea, but instead of being like, oh, I'm not gonna come, they just don't show up. And it's pretty common. I mean, there are women who are gonna be like the stars of like these events who have also flaked. So it's on both sides. But I'd say majority of the time it's more of a men's problem of flaking than women.
Also, you don't get really to vet these guys beforehand either. So you kind of do you not know like what you're gonna get?
So I do have criteria, so that makes things harder for me to be able to do the numbers I want to do. Like, I have no desire to fuck old guys. I had an amazing dad. I don't really want to be with guys who are my dad's age or older. That just doesn't sexually excite me. So that cuts out like you know, a good number of guys that could be coming to these events. And then I want to be with someone who not coming who is hygienic, who takes care of themselves, who is in decent shape, so that overall I am aesthetically still like into fucking the guy.
I mean, it's internet trolls, you know, see you later.
You're 290.
Well, also, to be fair, you're kind of cutting out your D&D crowd. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
In a way, you're kind of like you're dirty nerds, you know, with the Whamers.
I am not a free use slut, so like that would be more of a free use slut. Like, that's who fucks anyone. Like, I am very slutty and I fuck lots of people, but I need to be attracted to the person. I need to have some kind of like thing. Like, just because you can put lube on a pussy and fuck it doesn't mean that the woman is into what's happening. So
I know it.
like just with guys, like guys, you know immediately if they're not into it. Like women, like you don't really know, but I want to be excited, especially if I'm gonna be fucking for 5 hours. Like I need to actually be into what's happening.
God damn, 5 hours.
So we never answered the question. Like, is it everybody having sex at the same time?
Okay.
Or
so how it normally goes, how I do my events is I'll get like an Airbnb, and let's say it has like 4 or 5 rooms, and sometimes I'll have other women, sometimes it'll just be me. And the guys will come at like different hour slots. So normally like there'll be 10 at 7 to 8, and then 8 to 9 there'll be another 10. And like the guys are welcome to stay as long as they want, but normally after guys come once or twice they leave, and then the next group of guys comes in. So that way there's not 20 guys jerking off in the room, because that would give me anxiety with all the guys just like standing around me, because I can do 5 guys at once. Like I can do that. That's a happy spot for me. But if there's 20 guys crowding in the room or whatever, then I'll start to be like,
5. So
it's fun watching your face, Matt, while you figure out the math.
I'm like 5.
I call it. It's called airtight skiing.
Yeah,
airtight skiing.
Yep.
That's the greatest.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it makes sense because you're like skiing.
Oh, yeah, totally. And you are airtight.
Yeah, you sure are.
Jamie, any interest in airtight skiing?
I'll try anything once.
That's an amazing attitude, because a lot of people are like, I don't think I'll like that. And I'm like, how do you
never know?
Yeah,
you don't know. Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know till you try it. Yep. Okay, cool. James, keep going.
Oh, okay. Forgot we were even doing this.
Get so involved.
Sorry.
Oh my word.
Okay, so does size matter to you?
So not normally, just because I have a very tight, very small pussy. I can fill a small guy as well as a big guy. But it depends.
How tall are you? Sorry.
I'm 5'5".
Okay.
I just have like a really small pussy. Like I've literally shot with a woman, Chloe Surreal, in a few months ago. And she made this remark when we were filming. She's like, your pussy is so small, but your asshole is big. And she was like, it's so cute. Like, how small your pussy is. And then she was like, the space between your pussy and your asshole is just so cute. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I've never heard that before.
You're like, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Do you have to get a dog sitter when you have a gangbang?
Well, yeah. So all of my gangbangs, like since I live where I live, there isn't a big network of this sort of thing for gangbangs. I wish there was, because I would gladly do them at home. I have to
Right.
travel other places. So like Colorado is one of the biggest places. They are just very open to that sort of thing.
Really?
So if you're looking for a gangbang, so if that's your thing, I can connect you with organizers who will take care of you. They will value you. They will follow your criteria of what you're looking for, and they will organize the event the way that you want it.
The
So
Colorado is the gangbang capital. Look at that.
I mean, as I found,
Right.
there are parts of the DMV that are also good, and then parts of Texas that can be decent.
What's the DMV?
So like that's like the Baltimore,
Oh,
Washington,
Delaware,
like
Maryland.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In Texas, you said?
Yeah.
No. Oh, Texas
So
too?
I know of a network in Houston that is really great. And I've done 40 guys there successfully.
Damn.
So
Wow.
yeah. So if you're interested, just reach out to me and I can connect you. So
All right.
yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado's great.
Do you like skiing?
No, I like weed.
Well, they do have really good weed there too. But they have good skiing too. I guess you could do weed and ski. I mean, you can do
I was
airtight
referring to
skiing.
airtight skiing.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
airtight skiing, but I suck
Yeah.
at regular skiing. I
So,
tried it once and I was
Yeah,
not
same.
successful.
It's really hard. Like you have to do it a lot for it to. It's like anal. Like you have to do anal a lot for it to be good.
Everything takes practice.
Yeah. Or it just hurts. Like there's a point where you're doing your anal training. Like, I would love to like actually talk to Rebel Ryder about this. If there was a point where she was like, yes, I love anal. Cause it was the same for me. Like I was doing it for a while and I would still be like, oh, it hurts. And then I would be fucking guys and they'd fuck me in the ass. And I would prepare myself for it to hurt. Like, and then there was one point where it just stopped hurting and it was just like open. It was like, oh, I like it.
How long did it
So-
take
Yeah.
you to get to that point?
Well, it was guy number 48 on the
Yeah,
gangbang.
yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what guy it was. I'd have to think on that. That's too many numbers.
It was her third gangbang, the 16th guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Broke
good.
through to the other side.
Yeah.
Hit the sweet spot.
So what I would say is, it depends on how often you train and how often you do it. So for me, I don't really know how long it ultimately took. It was just more of like, if you did it more often, and a lot of my friends like asked me, how can I do anal? How can I do this for my husband or my partner? I've been wanting to give it to him for a gift or whatever, but it hurts. Like you need to do it yourself. You need to be stretching yourself, but you need to masturbate while doing it so that you associate anal with pleasure. Because like most people just like are like it hurts. But if you start to stretch yourself and also do it while it's pleasuring you, then you're more inclined to keep doing it. So
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of associating it with it being awful and wanting
Yeah.
it to end.
yeah,
The gift that keeps on giving.
100%.
Very cool. All right, James, you got one last question. Go ahead.
Oh, one last. What is the most memorable scene you've ever shot?
That's hard. I've shot so many good scenes, but
Mhm.
I'd say the scene that I already talked about it. The Breakfast Club was great.
Yeah.
But probably my favorite sexual experience was I shot with Quentin James, and just the way he is on camera, like the stuff I was saying and just the way that I was acting on camera was just raw and ballistic. Like we were having camera sex, like the way it's positioned and you're like stopping and starting, but we were ultimately like full on into each other. Like the cameras could have gone away and we were just full on just having a great time. So
It was real.
Wow.
it was real, 100%. And that's my brand. I try to be real and authentic. So like even when I am doing a scripted scene or any of that, like I want to be enjoying what I'm doing. Like I don't want to be faking noises. I don't want to be faking like a lot of it. I want it to look like it's real and authentic and we're enjoying what's happening. So yeah.
I mean, it also helps if the guy's a freaking smoke too. Like, let's
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Quentin James is a goddamn Adonis.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And he just
Yeah.
knows what to say. He can just like talk to you and get you in the right vibe. It's 100% great. So
Nice. Have you had a male performer that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to?
I have a lot. I have an entire list. But
Your
let me
knockoff
think.
list.
Yeah, I have a huge knockoff list.
Well,
I'm trying to think. I have more female performers. Let's see. Who was it? Well, Zach Wilde for sure. I would love to work
Sure.
with him.
Why can't I think of the
What,
name of the
Dread?
band? Black Label Society.
Yeah.
Like
Black
that Zach
Label.
Wild? Like the
Yeah, he's the
guitarist?
performer. Yeah. Zach Wild, the performer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah. So
He's
Good for you,
he's on the
Chelsea.
He's
list.
Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist.
So yeah, I'd have to think. I feel like, my brain at any given time, I wouldn't say ditzy, but I go 100 miles an hour all of the time. And so
Yeah.
like my brain is constantly like I'll be talking to someone and I'll like say 100 things and they're like, I don't know what you said. Like you said 100 things. And I'd be like, it made sense to me in my head.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You didn't get all that?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Nice.
So.
Very cool. Good. James, one last question.
Oh, I thought you said that was my last question. Hold on, let me open it again.
Well, no, your question that you always ask is your last question.
Oh, do you find that a lot of guys are willing to let you take them?
Not really, no.
Okay, neither.
Yeah, so like a lot of guys, like I have had some guys who experiment with like anal play because it helps with orgasms or it helps you get to an orgasm easier. I would say older guys are more inclined. I think there's a lot of stigma around anything anal related with guys just because of homosexuality. It's the same thing with like shooting content. Like there are a lot of guys who are okay with just women in the scene, but as soon as you bring in a guy, they're like, oh, I don't want that. I can't perform around him. My dick won't work.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't know if that's from a performer standpoint or like he's homophobic.
Seems like more homophobic.
Yeah. And so I don't want to deal with a performer because we're doing a job. We're acting. We're, like I'll shoot with women. I prefer men over women, but like if it's a girl scene, I'm going to eat the crap out of her pussy and it's going to look like I'm going to be enjoying it, but it's still like, it's a job. You should be inclined to be able to do scenes that are with different genders and it'd be okay. It's the same way I feel about like trans and bi stuff. Like I did my first bi trans scene last year and it was amazing to be able to do trains of fucking where I'm getting fucked and they're fucking the person who's fucking me. It was awesome. But it was so hard to find a bi guy who would be open to doing that sort of thing, to be on camera, to be sucking dick and like all this stuff. And I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard to find performers who are okay, doing that. It's even hard to find bi or like, even if you go to a swingers club, like they let in single women. They are all good with single women being there. They're all good 100%. If a single guy shows up, they're like, no, we don't want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so hard to find that bi bowl that you're looking for that could potentially do a threesome that could be really awesome and hot where you're all interacting and that's the thing is a lot of people don't open their mind to like, oh, I like this. Or sometimes they might really like it, but they're afraid of the stigma of what people will think. And like, I think what we need to start doing is breaking down the stigma of, yes, I like this, I like that, and it's okay, so.
Yeah, no, you're right. You should be accepting of all.
That's true because there isn't in that sense that like there isn't a bi category for guys. The women can be bi, but most guys can't be labeled. You're either gay or not.
I mean, it's like my litmus test. Like when I'm reaching out to someone or even my own personal sex life, I'll be like, hey, so you want to do a threesome? If they're only okay with another woman being there, then I'm immediately like, I don't want to do stuff with you anymore because I want it to be equal. I want to be like, hey, I like this guy. Let's do a threesome with him. Or I like this woman. Like, I want it to, feel like it's not one-sided where he's like, no, I only like
that's
this.
just the stigma from the male side. Male to male, if there is no such thing as bi.
Well, it's the same way I feel about eating pussy. Like, let's say I meet a guy and we have a great time and I suck his dick and we have all these positions. But if he doesn't eat my pussy, then he's immediately docked like 3 points.
It's an old Italian man. They don't, my grandfather would never.
Because it's like, if I'm going to do the service of sucking your dick, the least you could do is give it back to me.
You gotta return the favor.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
that's just being a gentleman.
Yeah.
I
mean, if you're expecting me to do that for you, that intimate thing, then you should be doing it back. So.
Amen to that.
100%.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So that was Peg Talk. Let's keep it moving. Jdub, I'm going to give you 3 good ones. So go ahead. We're now going to Jdubs Questions, asking some questions. Jdubs Questions, a new baby segment. Jdubs Questions segment. Go ahead, Jdub. Take it away.
What other than Ray Ray, what other names were you thinking about?
Oh, that's hard.
Can you give us your
Do you have
do you
any
have
other
your
like top
do you have your
ideas?
porn star name that like like the name of your first pet in the street you grew up on?
Name of my first pet was Satchel.
Oh,
And like
baby.
Milk Crest. Satchel. That would be
Satchel Milkrest?
I like it.
What?
awful. But
That's pretty good.
Satchel would be kind of like a funny like porn
Satchel
name.
Milkrest?
Satchel
That'd be good for
Milkrest
me or
is pretty
Justin.
good.
That'd be good for me and Justin. That'd be a
Yeah.
good guys one. Justin's would have been Baron Hedgewood. How
Oh,
awesome is that?
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Jamie would have been Brandy Hunter.
Yeah,
right?
I like that.
I like Brandy
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good name.
Mine would have been Conrad Royal.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
well.
good too.
Well,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Not just saying I was
Yeah.
born to do
Yeah.
this, but
Oh, yeah.
well.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
Being a male talent is a lot of work. I don't envy it.
Literally and figuratively.
Oh my gosh. Like they don't get paid enough. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
J-Dub, keep it going, baby.
Have you broken any bones?
I have. So when I was in the military, I was a medic in the army, and so our training is like about 4 months long. And the last thing we do is a 2-week field exercise where we're in the field, we're doing mountain patrols, we're pushing patients through the battalion aid station. And 2 days into that, I had on full kit, so I had on all my body armor, my medic bag, and as well as holding like 2 MRE boxes, and it's early in the morning and it's rocky, and I like rolled my ankle and I came down on it with all the extra weight. And I'm like almost late for formation, so I'm like, I can't be late because they'll get really mad.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Yeah.
forced myself up, like took my boot and tightened it up, and then like limped around the rest of the day. And then like 4 to 6 hours later, my ankle was black and purple. But I couldn't really let anyone know that I had hurt it because this is the last thing I have to do before I graduate. And if they knew,
you don't want to.
then they would send me back.
Oh.
And so I just limped around. I just suffered through it all, and I
For the
broke
2 weeks.
for 9 days until I did my final patient
God
assessment.
Damn.
Yeah. I have a pretty high pain tolerance for someone who doesn't get off to pain.
I mean, sure, right?
Sounds
Yeah,
like
you know,
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, 40 guys. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you could say. that.
So I broke my fibula. So as soon as I did my final assessment, the guy was like, "You're good." I was like, "I need to go get looked at." And so I got an X-ray, and I had a clean break of my fibula.
God damn!
so-
For 9 days.
It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But now I know, like, if I'm ever in like a survival thing, as long as
You're
it's
good.
non-weight bearing, because if I had broken my tibia, I would have been done. Like, but the fibula is non-weight bearing.
The tibia
It
is
just
your
fucking
front,
hurt.
the fibula is the back, right?
Yeah.
Were you
so-
doing like exercises and stuff during this 9 days?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
You were
I-
in the
God.
wilderness, weren't you?
Yeah, we were out in the wilderness. We did patrols
my
where I
God.
walked for miles. I had to
That's
open litters, carry patients.
Oh my God.
But I mean, now I'm like, now I can gut my way through certain things, and
Yeah, true. Once you can do that, filming the Breakfast Club scene ain't shit.
it's just frustrating because
Yeah.
trying to corral like all the women. So
Yeah, true. Story of my life.
yeah.
So, okay. J-Dub, keep it going, baby.
How are you like with like public speaking before doing like adult filming? Like my question is like after opening yourself up to that, do you find you're like more socially confident, more like able to speak publicly?
Great question.
Yeah. So I've always
correlate?
been, very socially awkward. Like, I think the hardest thing for me is actually the acting component of like doing scripts and narratives. Just because I'm awkward, I'm weird. If I don't know my lines or I don't feel confident in it, it's going to come off like wooden. It's not going to be the way it needs to be. I'm not going to convey the emotion. I'm going to be too much in my head. And so that's actually the hardest thing for me as a performer. Like, some people are amazing at ad-lib. People are amazing at narrative. I love the sex. I know exactly what to do. I'm confident there. So with us going into more scripts and narrative, it's definitely made me come out of my comfort zone when it comes to all of that, because I would never want to speak in public. Like, literally, if I won an award and had to go on stage and be like, "Thank you," I'd be like shaking probably up there, because I just don't like being in front of a big crowd of people. It's just not my thing. So
Nice. All right. Jdub, any more questions?
No, I figure it would get, a little better if you get looser. Do you have any questions for me?
So how did you guys start this? Like, where did this podcast come about?
Matthew,
do you have 10 years?
I'll tell you.
I mean, a quick version of it.
Matt started the
No,
podcast.
I would love Justin. Please tell it, please.
Matt started the podcast. He had two co-hosts before me. Then
Mhm.
one day he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I need somebody to make sure that I press record, and I need a new co-host." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I can do that." And
Yeah.
he's like, "And I'll also let you ask 4 to 5 dumb questions per episode." I was like, "Done deal, sign me up."
I mean, I think they're great. I love podcasts. I love talking about things, normalizing this line of work, putting it out there. So props to you guys for doing that.
And
so.
that is the fun of it. Obviously, your line of work is much more interesting than most people's line of work. But we've talked to people who work for State Farm, to people who work on a farm, and people who have been in a state penitentiary, and people who get penetrated.
So the concept behind the Work in Perspectives podcast is that if you were to walk outside your house, right, you would see sidewalks, you would see streets, you would see street lamps, you'd look up in the sky, you'd see airplanes, you'd look over, you see buildings and storefronts and all these different things, right? And all those stuff were the materials for that were and the people that put it together were all created by people with jobs, right? So we take all we look out there, the people who made the materials, the person who invented that, no idea. The people who made the materials for that, not a clue where it even came from. The person who put that shit together and then built the stuff that's there, not any relative idea of how that started, who insures it, who repairs it. We have no idea about this, and we're living inside of this.
Yeah.
To me, I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How do we? So the initial idea was that we wanted to interview all these people and it was just people that have jobs. If you contribute to, if you're in our working society, you're contributing and you deserve to have your story told, I believe. Yeah. And so we just wanted to have people come on and talk about their work history from where they started to their current profession. And we've got to meet a ton of interesting people, and it's been a lot of fun. And we have lately had more adult actresses on, just because you guys are fun, and we can be more open with you guys. And it sucks with the woke generation where we have to be conservative, and there is a lot of times where I've had it where people have canceled their recordings because they're scared of what they might say and they could lose their job and all this shit. And I was like, it just sucks it sucks that we don't have the freedom of speech to be able to say that stuff. It's one thing, we bar the line of we're inappropriate but not offensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think there's anything, if we're adults having adult conversations, there's nothing wrong with being a little inappropriate, as long as you're having fun, as long as everything's in jest and you're all joking. But, that's just what it is. But what Justin's referring to is that, so I was probably maybe a little under a year into starting the show. It was, honestly, Justin, I think you've been on for 2 years. So yeah, so Justin just had his 2-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
But damn,
happy
flies by.
anniversary.
But
it's good when it goes fast.
Yeah,
it was less than a year, and I'd had my initial business partner had bowed out, and then I had another co-host that he was on borrowed time because he was gonna be a nurse. And then I was like, who's funny and who do I love? And Justin's he's hysterical and he's great at this. And so I had him in on it. And then we tried to have another female co-host. We had her for a little while, Jana. She was cool. And then she had to leave. And then we got Jamie, and we've been in love with Jamie ever since. And she's been killing it and doing a great job. And Jamie, honestly, she's been the best female co-host anyone could ask for. Probably best co-host anyone could ask for.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah,
He's
I like
sweet.
that she asks the sexual questions, just because, for me, even
it makes it less awkward.
Even my PR, the Rub PR, Erica is amazing, and I reached out to a whole bunch of different PR, and she was the first one that resonated with me because she was a woman and she could understand and just know the things I was going through. It just is really nice to have the female perspective for a lot of things. So
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the great things that Jamie does provide is like she asks these amazing questions, and had they come from me, it would still be like the same kind of lighthearted interest,
Yeah.
but it would be more creepy because it is coming from a man. So just because it's coming from me, it would just by and large just be more creepy. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because but with Jamie, it's more like she's getting it for like, oh, that's a good idea, or maybe I'll try that. You know what I mean?
And
Like that kind of thing.
Genuinely like talking about this stuff too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love whenever I can go on podcasts, and like I wish I had time to even start my own. I just don't. I have too much going on. So
Well, you'd be really good at it because you're a great
oh,
talker.
you got all the equipment, the
Thank
camera.
you. I'm glad that there are podcasts like yours because it does, take that, normalizes this line of work and other lines of work as well, and then we can get our stories out there and not have to put in all the work. So
honestly, I really think that the importance of pornography in our world is very understated. Because if you look back at I always think of okay, if you look at like an evil dictator, right? Like these, or even like in a small sense, like just an evil kind of person that was out chopping off heads and skinning people and like just terrible, terrible stuff. If that person had access to unlimited amounts of pornography and found their kink and where they could get their shit out, maybe they wouldn't be out slicing people up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think pornography is a way it's an avenue to vent like maybe some inner demons and whatever and get them out in a positive way so that so you're not destructive with it. So I really do think the importance of it is understated.
The only thing I'll say about that is that people need to know that porn is not real, that it is acting, that it is staged. I have done scenes like facial abuse, which you talked about. That is a very intense scene. I also shot with legal porno while I was in Prague this summer. That is a very intense shoot. And I have had individuals who have seen me be in scenes like that, and then they think that you can do that to just anyone, or you can do it to me, or you can do it to another woman. And I'm like, no, those are actors. We are acting. They know how to mouth fuck. They know how to deep throat. They know how to do all these things where they don't break your teeth or do all these things. Like you can't just face fuck someone till they puke. Like it's just not gonna. So a lot of people see porn as potentially this real thing that they can take to real sex. And I'm like, it is night and day different. Like my real sex is way different than a camera. Like I don't do starts and stops when I'm actually just having sex. Like, and I'm not thinking about my positioning and how my angle is and what's the lighting and what am I saying. Like I'm just enjoying it. So I think pornography is great to be able to explore your sexuality and be able to find the kinks that you like, but you also need to know that it's not real. And there are things that happen in porn scenes that you can't just do to people.
True.
So.
Very, very true. Honestly, especially too as a young guy, I remember watching porn and be like, oh, all girls love to get railed really hard doggy style, right? Like that's just what I have to do. I just gotta rail
There's a point in every there's a point in every male's life that they do have to learn that. Especially I mean, we came from a childhood where we weren't fully masturbating to pornography until the internet became so. Like there is full generations just watching that, learning that, who really honestly probably do need to be told like, hey, it's not like
you need to ask her what she likes.
You
like, can't just do that.
This was filmed over 6 hours with starts and stops, and everything is choreographed and made. Lots of catering, unless you're sucking dick, and then it kind of sucks. Or doing anal, then you can't eat at all, which sucks.
We get you on both sides.
Wow. From both ends, literally.
I just want to enjoy the craft service table.
But all of it's planned, all of it's staged, all of it's perfectly lit, it's angled right. They're just all of these things that in a normal hookup is just not going to happen. Like they're just not.
I would love to, honestly, you're 100% right. But on another note, I mean, to be the caterer to the porn sets, like that's a gig. That's a pretty sweet
it would
gig.
be.
He's like, I make custom omelets. I watch people bang.
I have known some performers though that don't like anyone who's not crew to be on set. It actually freaks them out to have someone. So like, let's say I rent a set and they're like the person who owns the set is going to stay. There are some performers who will refuse to show up on set if that person is there.
He's like, why is that guy got to be here?
Like,
Come
No,
on.
I get. Hey, I get it. I get it. It is. You have to be at all times eyes on for creeps.
Correct.
So, all right, let's keep it moving though. We are coming towards the top of time. So, like we said in the description of this episode, we'll have a link to Ray Ray's OnlyFans a link to Linktree for Ray Ray stuff. In Ray Ray's Linktree, you'll have RayRayXXX.com where you can catch all her videos and keep up on her stuff. We'll have a link to her socials in there as well, so you can follow her. She's a great follower on all socials. And, just stay up with what Ray Ray's doing. Super excited. Ray Ray, honestly, Jamie, Justin, and I are usually on the same page with this, but we would love to have you back on the show if you'd be willing to come back on.
I would love to. And if you ever need someone to pop in and ask questions or whatever, I would love to do that too. So just let me know.
We have a full correspondent.
I will,
like
Ray
that.
Ray, I will take you up on that. So just know you will be contacted.
Perfect.
For that.
I would love that.
Awesome. No, that's great.
The deciding judge. Do we have any questions?
We do have our.
And be like, is it bi? Is it gay? We're gonna call Ray Ray.
Yeah. I'm like,
we do have our 300th episode coming up, Ray Ray. So if you have any ideas, we're open.
Sounds great.
Hey, please. So okay, we are coming towards the top of time, Ray Ray. Do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans and everyone listening before we take off?
The only thing I want to say is thank you to all of you for supporting me. I wouldn't be where I am today without my fans. I started from nothing and I've built my brand up based on the fans that I have, and thank you guys immensely, because from any performer, like, we're nothing without our fans, and that's why I love to go to conventions. I love to meet them, I love to hug them, get photos with them. I'm one of the very few performers that doesn't charge for photos, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna go to Exotica, you're gonna go to a convention, you're gonna pay the money to stay there, you're gonna pay to get in, the least I can do is let you take a photo with me. Like, that's the least I can do, like, because we're nothing without our following, and like some performers, they eventually forget that along the way, which is sad, but I love my fans, and so thank you guys immensely.
That's fantastic. Honestly too, like, you've been nothing but like well spoken and reassured of you're very assured of your ideals and your thoughts, and like your self-assurance is really, really beautiful. So it's really great to see that as well. And I'm really, it's really nice to see that you're so confident in yourself and you know what you love and you're doing what you love. And that's honestly something everyone should strive for. So big ups to you on that. Thank you. Very cool. No, thank you. Justin, what do you got before we get out of here?
No, you can tell you have your you have the fans on the jersey signed out.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch. It's like signed everywhere. So
I like that. That's a cool concept. Yeah.
It'd be funny if they signed it where they shot it. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually, on a side note, did a gangbang where they wrote their numbers on me. So they were like these ink pens that go on bodies, and they wrote their numbers. So each guy who came says like 1, 2, 3, and at the end of the night, I had like 40 numbers on my body, which was pretty.
God dang!
Yeah,
you can tell it's not just lip service. You do like the fans. You're one of the few athletes who rock the fans jersey, if you will.
Yeah, I sure do. Before we end, you had the one question that you wanted me to ask. I don't know if you're gonna get to it. But
nope. You are correct. That was the next thing. Justin, anything else?
No.
All right. So yes, the question we want to ask you is that we asked you before. One of us is circumcised and one of us is not. So Ray Ray, would you like to tell us who you think is circumcised and who you think is not?
I think Justin is circumcised and you're not.
Ray Ray? You are correct. You nailed it.
I usually do. Yeah.
Look at you.
We gotta start giving out prizes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you keep track of this, Matt?
No, I'm just joking.
We do need to keep track of this.
You gotta start keeping track of the rankings, who gets it correct, and then what is the basis? Why aren't you circumcised?
Because my parents love me and I actually have a dad.
Or not Jewish?
I think dicks look nicer when they're circumcised, though.
Personally. I've never seen an uncircumcised dick.
You've never seen one like in person?
Not in person, no.
It's easier to jerk them off though, because they have the extra skin. So you're just like, oh yay!
I've only seen one.
It's helping.
What was that, Justin?
I've only seen one uncircumcised penis in my life, and it's Matt's.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
Matt's penis.
Yeah. There's so many people have seen my penis.
Yeah.
It's
in like 7th grade.
I get what you mean. So many people have seen my pussy.
But like, it's been like, people would find out that I wasn't circumcised, and they'd be like, "Oh, let me see your dick," and I'm like, "Okay."
For the record, I
You
did
know.
not ask to see it.
Yeah.
No, I just showed Justin. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy, you
I
ever
was like,
seen
what
this?"
the hell is that?
I would.
He's like, "Why does he have a
yeah.
snail in his shorts?"
I-
Yeah, it was.
I
But
would
see,
say,
that's good.
yeah.
I was gonna say
From,
that's how I
like-
feel now. Is like I'm like there is no like if I were to have a son today, I don't know. Like I would only circumcise him based on vanity. Like I
Yeah.
have no real reason to do it other than it would look like
He
mine.
kills nerve
It looks
endings
nice.
and
It
yeah.
looks- I mean, I've interacted with both, and I've enjoyed sex with both.
I mean, when the soldier's at attention, he puts on his helmet. It's all the same.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah, I
you
feel
gotta
like I
pull
wouldn't
the
do it.
skin back. The only thing I would say with like uncircumcised dicks is there is a hygiene issue. So some people
True.
don't clean the way that they need to
Yeah,
clean.
but
Yeah,
like in
that's
the
a thing.
1500s.
Yeah.
Is that-
And
Yeah.
I also like some of them look strange. Like you can't get the whole head of the dick out, and the skin won't go back, and like so there's just all of these like problems sometimes
Yeah.
with like
Yeah, not all of them are perfect.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
so.
But
But I don't discriminate. I would say that I enjoy circumcised dicks more, just because I like the top of the dick and the way it's shaped and everything. That's my own personal preference. But I fucked both and enjoyed sex with both. So
there you go. Hey, good for you. I mean, as an advocate for the uncircumcised, I will say that we very much appreciate that you approve of them.
yeah,
So
If
thank you.
Matthew.
You're
If you
welcome.
had a son, would you circumcise him?
I will not.
All right, he's gonna keep it going.
I'm gonna keep it going.
I don't even know what I would do.
My brother has 2 sons, and they are not snipped. So
And your brother is not either.
right, like my dad decided to snip my 2 brothers, but not me. You fucking idiot! You really think you would fucking do that?
He's like, you know what?
God
This
damn.
one, we're not snipping him.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna
this
need
guy
this.
needs every extra centimeter
Yeah.
he can get. So
He'll
let's
need
fucking.
extra.
Was your father snipped?
No, he was snipped. Yeah,
He was?
snipped.
But you don't
Yeah,
know
he
why
was a
they
snip.
decided
So
not
your
to
father
do you.
was, and then decided
Yeah.
not to make his children.
But
We know, honestly, it's never come up in
Yeah.
conversation why we were not.
You should
snipped,
ask.
So.
It is
I mean-
interesting.
Yeah, I'll just go up to my mom. Hey, mom, remember my dick? Remember why you didn't have it cut? Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird like question though, because like I feel like the child should, as you get older, have a say in how your dick looks. But then you don't really have a say. Your parents just choose for you, and that's what you're stuck with ultimately, unless you go
Right.
through the actual surgery, which I've heard is like really hard when you're older to do.
Right.
So,
I don't want, if I had a choice, like if someone asked me, could I get, I would say no forever. I don't
We
want
should do that
anything.
as a bet
I
for
don't
the
even like
show.
teethy girls going near it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. move the
We're gonna
teeth
do
back.
some bet for the show where if Matt loses, he has to get
Yeah.
circumcised.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
You have to get circumcised at 45 years old.
I mean, anything for content,
Yeah,
right, guys?
yeah, that would.
The 50-year
You
old
could do like a series of like my circumcised, like how it happened, and like
Yeah. My circumcision.
This is how it
Mhm.
happened.
Circumcision journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right, James, what do you got before we get out of here?
Well, thank you, Ray, for coming. This is a super interesting conversation.
oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I loved it. Like anytime. So
Honestly, Ray, I mean, you and your fellow content creators have been nothing but an inspiration to Jamie. So you should be, you should know that she's been just gathering all this information and data, and we don't know what she's gonna do with it yet, but she's gonna probably do someone.
Someone's
So,
gonna get
Hopefully.
pegged.
yeah,
yeah, someone's gonna get done.
Yeah.
I hope
but-
so.
great.
Yeah, well, speaking of Jamie doing someone, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by the one and only Jdubs, Justin Richardson, the amazing Jamie Iglesias, and our guest today is the Queen of the Gangbangs, the whore you've been waiting for, the one and only Ray. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And thanks for hanging out. This has been great. This is another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Thanks. See ya.